In this video, we're going to look at how to overcome an anxious attachment style and how to feel more secure in your relationship. Moving towards a more secure attachment style is going to make it easier for you to form close, loving relationships with the people who matter to you and help you to relax and enjoy those relationships as well. Before we get into that, I just want to mention some of the great content we've got coming up. I'm going to be showing you how to deal with almost any problem in your relationship and how to get together with the guy of your dreams if you're still single. I genuinely believe that you deserve a healthy, happy relationship with a great partner. So I don't want you to miss anything. Please press subscribe now so you can get notifications every time I have some great new advice or tips for you. Back to today's topic, which is how to overcome an anxious attachment style. Before we get into how you can overcome your anxious attachment style, we need to make sure that we understand what attachment styles are, why they're important, and what an anxious attachment style might look like. So here goes. Attachment styles are the way we've learned to understand the world and what we can expect from the people around us based on our earliest experiences. When we're children, we rely on the people around us to fulfill all of our needs. And if they do this consistently, we'll develop a secure attachment where we believe that the people who care for us will meet our needs and keep us safe. If not, we'll develop one of the three insecure attachment styles: anxious, avoidant, or disorganized. It's important to be clear that having an insecure attachment style doesn't mean that you were neglected as a child or that your parents didn't care. Sometimes they might not have realized what you needed or were unable to provide it for whatever reason. Something as common as having to spend some time in hospital as a child can disrupt your attachment style and give you an insecure attachment. So what is an anxious attachment style? In this video, we're really focusing only on the anxious attachment. And this is where you've learned that you needed to seek out affection and care. It wouldn't just be forthcoming. So as a child, this would be through protest behaviors, such as crying or clinging to the adults around you. Once you become an adult, you're going to have more sophisticated protest behaviors, such as becoming jealous, provoking a partner through arguments, or seeking excessive reassurance, or wanting to know where your partner is at all times. These are ways for you to try and get your attachment needs fulfilled, but they can cause a problem in your relationship. So what can you do about having an anxious attachment style? Well, the first thing is to be aware of your anxious attachment style. It's always important before you try to fix anything that you understand what the problem is. So it's worth taking some time to look at your actions and try and think about which ones are designed to get your partner to show you more love. Now, when I say designed, it sounds quite pejorative. I don't mean that this is your conscious aim. You're not there going, oh, my partner's not paying me enough attention, so I'll do this. But ask yourself whether it might be a slightly deeper aim going on. Once you understand how an anxious attachment style works, try and understand how yours manifests itself. So this could be through jealousy, as we've mentioned, keeping tabs on the other person, maybe seeking a lot of comfort and asking for lots and lots and lots of affection. Starting arguments can be a protest behavior because then your partner has to make it up to you and you have that big makeup and you feel better. Whatever it is, once you understand it, it's going to be so much easier to think about how those behaviors might actually impact your partner. So for example, if they don't understand why you're starting arguments and they don't realize that this is about something that's feeling wrong to you, then they're going to struggle with that. The next tip is to try and find other sources of comfort and other ways to be supported. Our culture tends to send a message that your romantic partner should be everything. They should be able to fulfill all of your emotional needs. They should be able to be your nurse when you're ill, your career advisor when you're trying to make decisions about what to do with work. They're your counselor. They're everything. But is this really realistic? Isn't that maybe a little bit much to put onto one person all of the time? When you have a wide range of people who matter to you and who can support you, it's going to make everything that little bit easier, and it takes the pressure off of your partner, but it also takes a little bit of the pressure off of you as well, because when you're feeling like you have to constantly reach out to the same person again and again and again, it can feel really isolating, and it can feel like you're having to work really hard as well. So being able to turn to friends for support, having someone who you used to work with to talk to about your career, maybe having that one friend who just always has all of the answers about your love life to talk to and to unload about some of your romantic challenges. So the fourth tip is to learn to become okay with uncomfortable feelings. Now, often people with an anxious attachment style will use those protest behaviors that we were just talking about as a way to remove uncomfortable feelings, such as insecurity or vulnerability or fear. If you can learn to be okay with actually feeling these feelings, and if you know that they're just going to pass eventually, it becomes a lot easier to relax and feel a lot more secure in your relationship. Now, this doesn't have to be all in one go. Practice sitting with those uncomfortable feelings just for a couple of heartbeats at first, and gradually building it up until they're not as scary as they used to be. It can make a huge difference, but don't push yourself too fast. The fifth tip is to work on your communication. Again, often the strategies that we use when we have an anxious attachment style are a way of avoiding having to talk about some of our feelings and some of our needs more directly. So rather than saying, I want to have this, that, or the other, we use our protest behaviors. Now, it might sound odd given how much people with an anxious attachment style like to open up to their partners and connect to their partners, but it can be still difficult to be direct. So try being really open and really direct with your partner about your feelings, especially around issues to do with vulnerability and fear. Sixth tip is to distract yourself, especially in the early stages of the relationship. Now, I know that I just said that it's important to sit with your emotions and to be okay with them, but sometimes it's also good to distract yourself. Now, the early stages of a relationship are often the most difficult for someone who's got an anxious attachment style. This is because you're leaping in feet first, and the other person might not yet be committed enough to really deal with everything all at once. So if you notice that one of your protest behaviors is coming out, it might be worth just trying to distract yourself a little bit. So, for example, if you're getting irrationally jealous, spend an evening going out with your friends. If you're feeling clingy, try selecting a new box set. It's not a long-term fix, but it might help you to avoid sabotaging a great new relationship in the first few months. The seventh tip is to seek therapy. Now, therapy isn't just there to help with serious, severe mental health issues. It's actually a really valuable resource to help you make long-term changes and to help you become more securely attached and to bring you more joy in your life. So a great therapist will work with you to understand where your attachment issues have come from, to try and heal some of that pain and hurt from childhood, or some of those insecurities that you might have, and actually do the deep work to undo what's causing this anxious attachment behavior. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and it's given you some ideas for how you can start to overcome an anxious attachment style. Have you tried any of these techniques before? How did they work out for you? Do let me know in the comments below. I love hearing all about it. And as always, make sure that you like and subscribe. I'll see you soon.